On this week's episode, we talk about Horizon.
And other pop culture news of the week. This week, we saw a couple things.
Yeah.
We did see two movies, not theaters, two very interesting movies, and we're going to talk about them.
Yeah.
Let's start with
Horizon?
Verizon.
No.
No. This show was not brought to you by Verizon.
No, it was not.
We actually went with the competition, but anyways. Horizon, an American Saga, Part 1, directed, produced by Kevin Costner, with a great, talented cast of known people, and of course some people that we don't know, but that all work very well.
Yeah, I would say overall this was pretty fantastic. Excellent production value and a pretty high level of historicity. This is set in 1859?
It starts on 1859.
Yeah.
It has some clear jumps. I don't know if you remember, there's a moment that someone writes in the rock once they arrive.
Oh, that's right.
That was 1863.
1863, that's right.
And there's some other little jumps too.
Yeah, but I don't think we jump much further than that.
Yeah.
So it's right around the early 1860s, and it's telling the story of people coming to settle the West, but specifically this spot. Everything kind of revolves around this spot called Horizon, which is billed as this great town and a land full of opportunity for people to come settle. And when they get there, they find out the truth is a little bit more difficult and complicated, and dare I say, even deadly.
Yes.
It's a really interesting story.
Yeah, it shows both sides of the conflict, which are the pioneers, the settlers coming to settle, to live, to build a life in the West, and shows also the Native Americans, the indigenous peoples, the Indians that lived here. And of course, land is probably one of mankind biggest possessions, right? Because if you have land, it's forever, right? You live for your descendants, and land causes war. Because it's our biggest piece of value, our biggest treasure.
Yeah, well, in this case, it's even more specific. It's just a question of survival.
Yes.
And none of the settlers need their farms. The natives, and in this case, very specifically, it's the Apache. They need the game. They need that land to hunt.
Yeah.
And the two cannot those two things cannot happen together.
Yeah. So there's that time-old struggle for land, for survival, and the movie touches about that. It's an object of not only studies but many movies and TV shows about coming to the West, and this one does a very interesting way showing both sides of the conflict. And masterfully starts with one tragedy because of this whole matter, as we said, and ends with another tragedy, but from a different side, a different perspective. And I thought it was really good. I suspected, I had a feeling that would be good, but I was surprised.
It was better than you.
Yeah, Super 8, my expectations. Super 8, can I say that?
I would say exceeded. That's the more common phrase.
Exceeded is a lot, but sure.
Oh, okay.
Super 8 is it went beyond my expectations.
Oh.
But expectatives? Expectations.
Expectations, yeah.
Expectatives is not a word?
No.
It might be.
Well, as we often say on this show, it is now.
There you go.
So.
Hashtag expectatives. Spectator, expectations, spectative.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speculative.
Put a spectative in your life.
Yeah.
Spectate good things and stay on the spectative. Wow.
I don't even know. They also so we have the main plot is kind of dealing with these like settlers versus indigenous peoples, but we also have a pretty full cast of other people who were coming to the West. We have the Union Army, and of course it is relevant that this is very specifically the Union Army because this is happening right at the dawn of the Civil War, which is a whole other thing. They didn't really get into it here. But anyway, that's happening. So we have the Union Army and Western forts. We see immigrants from China who were brought over as labor, who came to like build the Transcontinental Railroad.
How about that? Since you are
like
a historian, and I know the Chinese came and they helped build the railroad, but it brought me this question that never occurred to me. How did that happen? They came for that? Or
that's a really good question.
Yeah, that's why I asked.
Yeah, yeah. So why would I even say it? It's so obvious that it's a good question.
Or they were here like every other pioneer. They were here. They just
so I don't know how it started, but it did. I don't know exactly how it started, but it did become one of those things, as we see with any like migratory or like immigrant labor force, that they send word back home, and people who are needing, typically coming from areas of great poverty, then they send word back home, and then more people come. So yeah, I don't really know the details about that. I just know that there was a large Chinese workforce that made their way here to work.
Because when you talk about the rise of the railroads, they are an important part. They are like almost synonym of that whole process. And is it just because of immigration, or someone find out that in China they did this like greatly? Let's bring the guys that are good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to look that up. I don't think it was that last one. I think maybe like some immigration had started. There were, I'm not going to say anything because I don't actually know. I don't actually know for sure. Okay. But we also see kind of the aftermath of the gold rush, like some mining towns. So there's all kinds of different people there for different reasons. We also see like Mexicans, indigenous people working, like who are kind of hired out as mercenaries, working with the settlers, working with the army. Like we've got a whole spectrum, a whole cast of characters on all sides. And it paints a really broad and detailed picture of what that all looked like. The criminal element who are kind of taking advantage of some of the lawless aspects of the Western frontier. He kind of shows it all.
It's like very, very American elements of coming, winning, and coming, seeing, and winning. Is that how the expression goes? Vini, Vidi, Vidic.
I came, I saw, I conquered.
Yeah. And people, families, establishing families. And of course, there's the tragedy that comes with that. And of course, dealing with working, the value of work, people doing everything they can to get better. If building a house of the middle of nowhere, or mining and dealing with that, and very, 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 very interesting. There's some really emotional moments. They wrote some really beautiful moments, and beautifully photographed. The music is really good too, and a lot of talented people that I personally didn't know were a part of it. I know Sienna Miller was on, but Sam Worthington, Michael Rooker, Luke Wilson, that girl. She was a Mad Max, Furiosa. She was one of the half naked girls.
Okay.
The Furiosa Rescue.
Oh yeah, one girls. Of the.
What they called them?
I think they called them breeders or something horrible. There was some other name.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the women.
Who else? That guy. He's
Yes, that guy is in it.
Kittredge. His name is not Kittredge, but he was on. Now I can only think
Prodigal?
of Armageddon. What? He was on what?
No, never mind. We're thinking of something different.
Yeah. Of course, there's that girl from Dickinson. Not Haley Steinfeld, the other girl. The guy. There was Jesus on The Walking Dead. There was like a lot of talented people.
Yeah.
Yeah. To name some, there's of course people that we cannot name, because
like that whole list.
Yes,
Okay.
like that guy he was a captain in Lost. And he wasn't. I think he was on White Earp with Kevin Costner. He was a bad guy. But this one.
Oh yes,
yeah?
yes. He was in Wyatt Earp, and he was also in Silverado.
Okay, so he had some Western background. But anyway.
Yes.
So a lot of talented people. Very, very, very good movie. I can't remember the rating.
It's R.
It's R, but I guess that makes sense because there's violence.
There's some nudity. There's some language. There's a lot of violence.
Nudity. Yeah.
Yeah. It you have a lot of your classic Western tropes, but because this is told on like such a broad, or like on such a big scale, and we get so many other different so many stories being able to. Because it's so big, he's able to tell some of these stories in more specificity. I'm willing to forgive some of the tropes, even the kind of heavy-handed Americana soundtrack.
Yeah, but
it works.
Are the those tropes based in reality? Some of them.
I mean, a little bit. And that's kind of the thing. Like the West, even at this time, was like super romanticized, and then right because people see these flyers like go west and there's land, and the president was like, this is our manifest destiny to colonize and settle this land, and they're very romanticized ideas about what it would be like. And then after that, we've been telling stories about this period that have always been super romanticized, like the good guy in the white hat, like the church in the background, and the spurs on the horses, and it's so yeah, it totally fits.
Horses are real, spurs are real, churches are real, hats are white.
I know, but a lot of this stuff we get kind of a romanticized version of, like the saloon doors.
We didn't see saloon doors in this one.
That's true. There's been a shocking lack of like the whole like push and then flip.
In the bed, there's no.
And the jangly piano.
And there's no there's no bad guy, like a villainous bad guys. Like there's the bad guys.
No, I'd say there's a couple.
Who be created by the circumstance. People that made bad decisions, but there's no like evil. Yeah.
I guess so.
It might be on the second part, which we're gonna see in August, because there's a couple mysteries that like questions that come to your mind when you watch. And it's like, what the heck is going on? And like the final frame of a little trailer of part one is like, oh darn it, that guy. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it like that.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Fully recommend. It's a bit of history. It's a bit of emotion. Done very well by Kevin Costner. Shot here in Utah with his new venture. He's establishing a studio in St. George in southern Utah, and you should go watch it. It's fun. Anything else?
No, we've got a lot of other stuff to talk about.
Yeah.
So.
Horizon and American Saga Part 1 is available in theaters everywhere. Coming close to 4th of July. It's a good moment to watch a little bit of American history.
Okay, total mood shift. Disney Pixar released the sequel to Inside Out, aptly called Inside Out 2, and we watched it. And I was delighted. I thought it was very well done.
It was. I had my beefs with some little things in the story, because it's I don't know. It's for kids, so maybe, yeah. I feel like some narrative tools is how they call it, narrative.
You can just say narrative tools.
Yeah, but it's there's a different word for it. Anyways, that would put it there. There's like, why? And necessary, but it's not it doesn't damage the movie. It's just little details that if that was out, it would be better. But the movie is still good. It still works. This time, Joy and her gang of feelings or emotions, it receives and has to deal with a new set of characters, a new set of emotions that allegedly come with teenaging.
Puberty is the word.
What's the difference?
Well, teenaging isn't a word and puberty is.
Oh, well, it is now. Hashtag teenaging.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Riley starts puberty, and yeah, like you said, there's this whole set of new emotions and new... Just all the stuff that comes with growing up. And I was talking with another mom about that this morning, how the first one has provided such a great way to, like, visualize and understand and talk with kids about, like, help them understand what they're feeling and how to deal with that. And this one just is like, it's like volume 2. I think it's a really solid sequel. They kind of held on to everything that was good and valuable about the first one and avoided a lot of the pitfalls of recent Disney productions. I feel like this is the first one we've seen in a while where they were actually allowed to just, like, make a movie and tell a story.
Yeah.
And it paid off. I thought it was very good.
Yeah.
In fact, their opening beat Disney's entire 2023 slate.
Yeah,
so,
it's actually one of the biggest animations openings ever. The second weekend also had like a record number, which is usually there's a drop, but even with the drop, it beat a lot of what's released this year. So a very successful, very very entertaining. They follow up the first one very well.
Yeah, they really do, and it's got those two things working for it. It's a good story. It's a very entertaining film, but then also I think this is such a good one to watch with kids, and especially kids approaching this whole time of
the
puberty and all the rest.
Years.
Right. Just to provide some vocabulary, some ways to talk about.
Because teenaging is
all that.
Very hard.
Yes. Teenaging is so hard. So is puberty.
Yes.
So, which is what they call it in the show. Anyway, so I definitely would recommend this one for families. It was completely appropriate, really well handled, very entertaining, and I suspect will become useful for parents everywhere. As a girl, as a woman who went through puberty and has dealt with panic attacks and anxiety disorders, like, I can say this was spot on.
Yeah.
So very well done.
As a man that went through teenaging, I did see the movie, and I think was very well done.
Oh, okay. As a man, you saw the movie?
Oh, but it was about teenaging, so
it was
teenaging.
Okay.
No, it was good. It was yeah. It was they stick to what was good in the first one and told a new story. I hope they don't do more. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like there's always a risk they're gonna screw up. Toy Story 3, and then they've made a fourth one, and then they're coming up with a new one, and they spin off. That was a disaster.
Toy Story 3 was such a beautiful way to end all of that.
Yeah.
It was like, oh man, that was masterful. Cause like I grew up with Andy, and like they timed it just right. So like the kids who were Andy's age, when in the first movie, were still Andy's age in the last movie.
You're talking about 3?
Yeah.
No, 3 they were young adults.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was Andy's age when Toy Story came out.
Okay, yes.
And then in Toy Story 3, he's going off to college. I was in college.
Yeah, okay,
like,
yes, yeah.
And so that I mean, besides them just being well-written movies, it was very, very emotional.
Yes.
Because, like, he's letting go of his childhood, and I'm letting go of my... Oh, my gosh, it was a whole thing.
And if anything, this time lapse it's a really good thing. If you want to make another one, like, I don't know, 20 years later, fine. But don't do it just because you're desperate to make money and,
Yeah, because it really shows.
You don't want to risk making something new. And,
Yeah, it really shows. Well, either way, this one was worth it.
So, again, if they're going to make a sequel, I hope they wait 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
Not like, I don't know, Moana 2 or Frozen 6.
Oh my gosh.
That they can't stop making.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
But Inside Out 2, with Amy Poehler, with that bald guy, I can't remember the name. Maya Hawke is on this one. And who else? Voices.
Let's see. Bill Hader was recast with Tony Hale.
Yes.
And I think Disgust. Oh shoot, what was her name?
It was Mindy Kaling, but she's gone.
Yeah, she left. I can't. She was recast, but it was someone I didn't recognize. But oh gosh, I don't remember. It's a whole bunch of great voices. Everybody was great. It was good. Just go see it.
Yes, Inside Out 2 is available in theaters everywhere.
Okay, let's switch now to streaming TV shows. Dark Matter. This is on Netflix, right?
No. It's on Apple TV Plus.
Never mind.
Don't look for Dark Matter on Netflix.
No, you won't find it. You won't find it.
I know, maybe somewhere in South America.
No.
Where the deals are different. But yeah, Dark Matter, based on a book of the same name as him. A book that is part of the collection of books. Shows based on books that we didn't read.
That we haven't read, yeah.
And with the girl from Labyrinth and
Jennifer Coolidge
and Uncle Owen. No, it's not Coolidge.
No. Nope. That is someone
Coolidge is
totally
the girl
different.
from
Oh my gosh.
White
it is all the
Lotus.
time. Yes.
This is Jennifer
And
Connelly.
Legally Blonde. Thank you.
Yeah.
See, I got you there.
And Uncle Owen. Joe Edgerton.
Yep.
And Alicia Braga, and the one of the McBoyans, I can't remember his name. If you see something that I'm talking about. Anyways,
which is what we say about him every time. He doesn't come up that often, but every time we're like, oh yeah, he's one of the twins, or one of the brothers from It's Always Sunny. He's that guy. That guy.
Anyways,
he deserves better, but that's what we got.
This one is a very, very interesting. It's about multiverse, traveling through the multiverse. It starts with like someone from another universe comes and takes over your life, meaning the main character's life, and it develops from there, and then like increase the. It was interesting.
It was interesting. It's kind of based on this whole idea of superposition and things like that. I feel like this series could have been a movie. I thought it was very slow paced and there wasn't enough going on.
Yeah.
I feel like I would have loved this if it was a movie. And usually he's the one who's saying that he would have loved it as a movie, and I'm like, no. I love spending all that time with all these characters. Yeah. But I feel like they just didn't give us enough. I
never read the book. I don't know if it was necessary. But yeah, it sure works. There's some whole blocks of telling the story about how the guy that takes over the main character's life and how he's like learning how to live that. Like, yeah, it could be short.
I think it could
work better as a movie because there was not enough to. There's some characters that show in the middle of the show. They only came back at the end of the show to. Means to an end. Some characters appeared for a purpose, but the purpose was not that important to. Anyways, it worked.
Which might have worked better in a book. Like, I'm reading a book right now that has some, frankly, excruciating detail, but it's lovely in a book. In this series, it's.
Again, it depends on how well done it is, because Lord of the Rings extended editions. It's like if Peter Jackson says, "Oh, I have 4 more hours for each movie," it's like, yes, bring it on.
I will watch all of it.
So I guess it depends on how it's done.
Yeah,
the show is not bad. It's actually quite good.
Fine.
But you're right. It could be shortened. It could be, But
I think it would have made a very exciting movie, and as it was kind of a.
Well, maybe
emotionally, it wasn't very like.
Well, maybe
maybe
that was the idea. Maybe that's what they wanted.
Maybe
because Jennifer Connelly, she's pretty, but she doesn't excite. Same as Joe Edgerton. He's handsome, but he was always like,
Yeah, it was but I feel like the story of like, hey, somebody showed up from another universe, stole your life, and now you have to figure out how to get back. Like, I feel like we should have some pretty...
Exactly.
I should be feeling a lot
that's what I'm
more.
saying. Maybe that's how the book is.
Maybe.
Because they both act and they can be. I'm not saying that they cannot. I'm saying on this case that he burned Joe Edgerton burned Obi-Wan, right?
Right.
Kenobi. Anyways,
that was hilarious.
So fun show on Apple TV Plus.
It's a cool concept.
The complete series, I assume. I don't think they're gonna do more.
No.
There's no reason for.
Yeah.
And it's available on Apple TV Plus. You should check it.
Yes. Okay, we also wrapped up Acapulco.
Acapulco season 3 of Acapulco, which they ended the season like they ended the show. The producers said that they left things open in case they get a new season, but when they said that, it's like, I guess they see the writing on the wall.
I hope they don't. I think it can be done.
And I think it ended well. And yeah. So Acapulco is memorialistic, autobiographic story about this Mexican billionaire that used to work in a hotel, Las Colinas, in Acapulco, Mexico.
Yeah.
So he narrates the story. Eugenio Derbez narrates, and he also shows up in present time. So there's like past and president and past and present.
Yeah.
And it was fun. It was funny.
Yeah, it is. It was a very funny show. Like I never thought, oh man, I really want to watch Acapulco. But as soon as he would turn it on, like it was very entertaining.
Yeah, very
light. A nice broadcast. Yeah. Very light and fun, which is nice, but also like pretty engaging. A great broadcast of characters, which all the most successful shows have.
Yeah.
Some who you hate at the beginning. Hector, I hated that guy at the beginning.
But you get to know him.
Yeah, it's true. I then we get to know him. Like, oh man, I'm rooting for this guy.
Yeah.
He's a bit of a douche, but I'm like, yeah. Yeah, I think overall they did a good job with it. I think it's nice course.
Honestly, I had this beef because there's like the in the future, in the present, the main character, he claims that he's hated by everybody.
Yeah.
And the way they did it was like, come on. It was like, I don't know.
They did stretch that out, I think, a little too long.
Yeah.
But
anyways, Acapulco is available on Apple TV Plus as well. 3 seasons. You should check. It's fun.
That was a fun one. All right.
A lot of Spanish, so you're gonna be able to practice your Spanish, especially if it's no English, Domingo. If you don't want to speak, anyways, I'm not gonna go to that. That's the joke.
Yeah. I kind of hate how quickly I was able to pick up Spanish because I've been trying for the course of our marriage to learn more Portuguese. And I just get so stuck on it. But this one with the subtitles, like, I didn't always need the subtitles. I was just like, oh yeah, I know what's going on here. It was very annoying. My brain is very annoying, not the show. The show is great.
Very annoying to know another language?
It's very annoying that Spanish makes more sense to me than Portuguese because I need to learn Portuguese.
But don't you think you got Spanish so easily because your Portuguese practice?
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
Anyway, none of that's relevant to anybody. So, moving on. Bad Boys Season 4. Nope. I skipped ahead. Sorry, I mixed up. Yeah. I'm mixing up Bad Boys with The Boys. I'm going to stop talking for a second. Tell us about Bad Boys 4.
It had a good box office as a premiere, and that was before Inside Out, so it already went to second place. But as it came, it was a good boost on the box office with 53 million, which is not awesome, but it's much better than what we have it.
Yeah. Okay, this is where I was getting mixed up. The Boys, Season 4, their premiere viewership was up 21% over the last time, I guess.
4th season is on. It is gruesome, is gross and gory. It's intense as every other season.
It's still The Boys.
Second to last, there was announced the 5th one is going to be the last one. So it had a good bump as the season started. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah. House of the Dragon Season 2 also premiered. They hit 7.8 million viewers, which is Max's biggest single day audience. So
But that one's
you
not
go.
a surprise because
No.
it's House of the Dragon. It's Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
It's like
And it delivers.
so many people that joined, signed, subscribed to HBO Max, whatever, because of Game of Thrones. It's a phenomenon, and it's still paying off, and it keeps delivering.
Yeah, they really do. So with I guess not because of all of this, but anyway, streaming hit a record 38.8% of total TV usage in May.
So it's coming.
So, yeah.
It's getting close to half of TV usage, and it might not stop. It might only grow. So yeah, broadcast. It has to change. It has to adapt because it's getting.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fight is coming and increasing.
Yes, winter is coming. According to Forbes, Disney Plus lost like $11.4 billion since it was launched. And they don't think they're going to turn a profit this year either.
Yeah, well,
so despite this massive growth in streaming, Disney Plus is still struggling.
Yeah, they producing a lot constantly. You see the Marvel show or Star Wars shows besides the other shows, but you see shows that have like big costs in production.
Yeah.
Which not necessarily means a good show. Like the Acolyte is like causing all over the internet and all over the fandoms because the ratings for the show is like 13% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is the lowest of any Star Wars production, including the holiday special. The holiday special.
Oh man, that's just depressing.
And I think there's memes, but they actually factual. One episode of the Acolyte costed more. I mean, each episode of the Acolyte costed more than Godzilla -1 costed. Godzilla -1 was 16 million,
and it was an unbelievable film.
Good. So
and the effects were so good.
So Disney is paying high to these productions, and it's not getting returned because it's streaming. It's not tickets. It's a subscription that people watch a season and cancel and might be back with So all that considering, it's being said that Bob Iger, he said that he's frustrated about those flops and fails.
Yeah, I would be too.
And
Elon Musk weighed in on at least on the Star Wars side of things. Just talk about how Kathleen Kennedy is the worst.
Yeah, he said like she's more dangerous than the Death Star. But there's memes that are kind of factual. You have the Death Star, the killer of planets. You have the Star Killer, the killer of systems.
Oh my god!
And you had Kathleen Kennedy, the killer of franchises.
But here's the thing.
Oh, universe.
So I keep hearing. So I keep hearing these words kind of bandied around, but from both sides, talking about how Kathleen Kennedy is destroyed.
Both sides. She managed to unify the fandoms.
Oh
George Lucas said that is probably the first time that the fandom agrees.
But the fandom does but there are constantly people on Facebook. I think they're baiting for engagement, talking about how great Acolyte is. But hear me out.
But you just said engagement. Okay. Engagement is actually the key. What you said is engagement is not paying off.
That's true. I don't think it's Disney looking for engagement. I think it's for these people commenting on fan groups, wanting to get attention and comments. Anyway,
passions, right?
Sure. So the point is, I hear people on one side talking about how Kathleen Kennedy is killing the franchise, and then people on the other side talking about how Disney has saved Star Wars. And the thing is, I don't think Star Wars can be killed, and it did not need to be saved. People talk about that's always the reverse argument, how Disney has saved Star Wars because they're making new Star Wars content.
Oh, making sure that's saving?
BS. Star Wars didn't need to be saved. Yeah. Even if we only ever got the theatrical releases of 4, 5, and 6, we would have been fine. Yeah. Because they were incredible movies that tell an incredible story. Were they the best made? Do they have the best dialogue? Not really. But they tell a story that transcends so much and speaks to our souls, and it's there's so much going on. Kathleen Kennedy can't destroy it, We didn't need Disney to save it. Like what you like, and move on. I don't know. It's anyway.
Yeah. Anyways,
that's all.
But yeah, there's this whole mess going on. We're behind some of the shows again. Like, come with details because I'm not in a hurry for some of those. But so Iger, Forbes, Disney, and then Elon Musk, and that pumped some people too. It's like Elon to buy, Disney, or if not Disney, buy Lucasfilm or Marvel to try to fix some of those messes. About
I
Marvel,
don't think he could do worse.
About Marvel messes, Blade.
Oh yeah.
Rewriting, firing director leaves.
Yeah.
They rewrote like 6 times at this point to finally decide that Blade's gonna hunt vampires. I was like, really? It took you 5? Anyways.
Yeah.
Another loss of the show is Delroy Lindo, a famous actor from Gone in 60 Seconds and so many other movies. He is out. He was part of the movie, but now he's not.
Yeah, and is this another director who left? Jan de Man?
Yes,
okay.
The latest director to leave. So there's that mess.
It's not like super optimistic.
Yeah, I mean, the Blade has everything they wanted. It's like he's black, and he is a vampire.
But a vampire who hunts other vampires.
But again, it comes the they have to make it more woke. Even what the character that is woke or representative is like, you have like a black superhero, right? In this one, Blade has to have a daughter because they need a woman representation there. So it's like the liberties they take to fix problems where there are no problems at the cause. Anyways, Blade is full of problems, and we'll be lucky if it comes out, or maybe if you're lucky, it will not come out, because again, the final result might be a mess.
Did you catch the dig about that in The Boys?
Because the boys are digging.
There were several, but at one point they were talking about how one of the movies in the VCU they were like, okay, we just finished the reshoots of the reshoots.
Yes.
Making it the most expensive VCU project of all time. It's got to be good.
Yeah.
Anyway, you could tell on their faces like they were not buying it, and it was just.
And Captain America is going through similar things. Because,
It
Yeah,
wasn't subtle. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Oh, Brett Cooper has moved to Spotify and jumped into the top 10 podcasts.
Yeah, right away.
In America.
Yeah, with a comment section podcast.
Okay. Amazon MGM has lost their DEIA exec. So.
And there's a phenomena is coming to the industry slowly. Everybody is losing their DEI because it's a stupid idea.
It was a failed experiment.
And everybody is backing up and fixing it. And you spend money to create something that doesn't work. Now you're gonna have to spend money to fix.
Yeah.
So it's happening everywhere in the movie television industry, and also in federal agencies and other industries as well. Academia too.
Yep. Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. The fight we're all so excited about has been moved to November.
It's supposed to be in July. Now I moved. We'll see what happens.
Yep. Tokyo Vice will not be moving forward. They got canceled after their 3rd season.
Yeah, they said they might still shop for another network. I doubt it.
No. House of the Dragon is renewed for season 3.
No surprise, and it's almost like duh.
Yeah. Man, this show's, it's hitting so hard. It's so good. They've also gotten a series order for a Green Lantern TV show at HBO.
Yes, they've been working on it.
Yeah.
So we'll see what's going to happen.
Dare we be hopeful? Also on the superhero front, Tom Hardy says that Sony has their own Spider-Man.
Well, actors, they say things.
They do.
It's like...
It's a big part of their job.
Technically, Tom Holland is Sony Spider-Man.
I guess so.
Yeah, it was like a joint venture, Sony and Marvel. And if they decided to shut it down and Sony would keep it. I don't know.
I don't either.
I think that people say it's Tom Hardy, sure, but I mean, it could be funny. It could be he doesn't know what he's talking about. Could be a bit of both. It could be he's pushing for. He wants that to happen and trying to push. Yeah, we'll see.
Who knows? Okay, Sandra Bullock and Nicole Kidman are in talks to do a Practical Magic 2.
I never seen it.
I
really like
it.
both women.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a lot of things with them. I know there's a following for the movie, and in this case, if they have good writing, after was it 20 years already?
More like 25. It's very 90s.
Okay.
So
in this case, I would
20
say
plus years.
okay. That's fun.
Yeah.
That's cute. Another one on that sense was I don't know if you talked about it, but Happy Gilmore 2 is gonna happen with Adam Sandler and the power of Netflix, and they work really well together.
I stand by the statement. He's done his best work, I think, with Netflix. So yeah, that could be really fun. I liked the first one. It's lovely and emotional and very 90s. Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh have joined the Lord of the Rings War of the Rohirrim animation.
Yeah, I guess Amazon bent a knee and went to the specialists because they messed it up. The Rings of Power, it's trash, it's a mess.
Yeah.
This time they got the pros to work on this animation that is promising now.
Yeah, I'm sure there are other people who would love to do it, but Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh, they did it perfectly last time. They've shown they really understand the universe and anyway, yeah, it'll be great. Zack Snyder, true to Zack Snyder form, is releasing a director's cut of Rebel Moon in August.
Yes, I didn't put the names there, right?
Nope, but there will be new names.
Yeah, I can. Well, I'll promise next time, but yes.
Full Metal Jacket artwork is going to be restored.
Oh, there was a mess. Prime Video. I don't know if you know the artwork, the poster for Metal Jacket. It's a helmet, a Marine's helmet. It's a war movie.
Yeah.
And I think it has Born to Kill written on it.
Oh, okay.
Stanley
yeah,
Kubrick
I've seen
movie.
that. Yeah.
And Amazon whitewashed. History erased that, and they erased that. That's like one of the main things of the poster of the movie. They put the poster there, but with that erased. And then Matthew Modine, is that I put his name there, right?
No, you didn't.
Not. Matthew Modine, there was in the movie, saw that and got like, how dare you? So he pushed the protest and people protested. Amazon fixed it, but it was like, wow.
It's a weird thing to fix because, I assume I haven't seen it, but the film's rather violent, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It's like part of this whole.
So changing the poster doesn't change like the actual violent content.
Yeah, and even it's part of someone else. I can't remember who was talking this past weeks about the whole trigger warning, on how terrible is that. Because the director, the producer made that in a way that it was supposed to be that way. If you're triggering people before, you're spoiling it. I think it was Dame Judi Dench.
It was Judi Dench.
She was talking about the theater, on how, if you don't want to see Shakespeare, if you trigger what's gonna happen in the play, it's like, don't go see the play. It's so unnecessary, and it doesn't help. It doesn't benefit anyone. But anyways, so Matthew Modine got pissed. The fans got pissed. They fixed it.
Yep. Okay, Mel Brooks is working on a Spaceballs sequel.
Again, it's so long that sure. Especially since Star Wars got so much more after, and that's basically a parody of Star Wars.
This is true. He has a lot of options now.
Let's see if he's gonna follow up on the universe he created, or if he's gonna parodize.
Parody is the verb.
Parodize more Star Wars new content now. That's interesting. That's exciting. Josh Gad's gonna be involved. I don't like him, so I gotta. But we'll see.
But he has been really funny. Like, I thought his character on Avenue 5 was consistently pretty hilarious.
I mean, it's personal. I met him and he was a jerk. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody Still Hates Chris is getting an animated series.
Yeah, Everybody Hates Chris gonna get an animation name. Everybody Still Hates Chris. The couple of the movie. What's his bucket? Terry Crews and Letitia. I can't remember her name. Tichina Arnold. I think so. They announced on Instagram and social media. Super excited for the show.
So they are coming back to voice.
I think so.
Nice.
And which is cool because the show ended subtly. They never were able to finish the story.
That's right.
The show ends when Chris leaves high school, and there's a whole new chapter on Chris Rock, his autobiographical life after he drops out of high school.
Right.
So let's see if they're gonna go for that, or if they're gonna go just like for jokes of the times when he was a kid.
Yeah.
And the guy would ask him for $1.
It's really especially kind of Tashina to come back because she doesn't need this job. Her husband has two jobs. Yeah, she doesn't need this job.
And now she's gonna have 2 jobs.
Yeah, that's right. She's in the neighborhood, and it's like, wow, that is commitment.
And
we appreciate that.
Yeah,
that's right. Terry
Crews
Crews
is some musical competition show, right?
That's right. He's hosting AGT.
Yeah.
Yeah, America's Got Talent. I kind of hate myself a little bit for calling it AGT.
Why? Isn't that everybody calls it?
It is. Yeah, I don't know. It just sounds weird. Anyways. The Jim Henson Company is selling the historic Chaplin Studios lot in Hollywood.
That's not a plot of a Muppets movie.
Yeah, except like when he said that to me, I was like, that's the Jason Segel Amy Adams movie.
Yes, it's
so
it's a cool place, and it's the Chaplin Studios.
I know.
It's like the legend. One of the Anyways,
so just watch out for a group of animals and monsters.
Suits coming to
like
break the place to make parking lot.
Yeah.
I hope whoever buys it develops something that will honor both Jim Henson's and Charlie Chaplin's legacy.
That would be cool, like a museum or something, an experience. Okay, Patrick Dempsey is joining the Dexter Original Sin series.
Yeah, he's coming.
Mm-hmm. Fun to see him as a murderer instead of like McDreamy.
Well, how do you know he's a murderer?
I don't. I'm just saying.
Maybe he dies.
I'm saying, he could be.
He's too old because he's gonna be young Dexter, right? So maybe he's the guy that's like too nosy. He's like, hey Dexter, what you doing?
Maybe.
Whoosh, dies.
Or he's like I don't know, like the killer in the. I don't know.
The first kill, because Dexter kills killers, right?
Right.
Or people that
I don't
deserve.
know.
Anyways.
Okay, this one, I don't know how to feel about this. Spielberg and Taika Waititi are working on a new take on Huckleberry Finn.
Yeah, a new take never sounds good,
but
it is Spielberg. But it is Waititi.
Yeah.
So
I don't know. Taika Waititi like either does amazing things or really just meh.
Yeah.
And this could go either way. But the whole Huckleberry Finn, I feel like, is Spielberg's bread and butter of like kids having adventures and coming of age, and this could go either way.
If it was Spielberg directing, I would be really hopeful. But if he's only producing and Waititi is writing and directing, we'll see.
We'll see. Jojo Rabbit is one of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
What was the soccer one? Next Goal Wins?
Next Goal Wins, yeah.
Phenomenal. I loved it. It was hilarious and beautiful. So we'll see. Okay, and then last but not least, Donald Sutherland passed away this week at the age of 88.
Yes, one of the great actors, very prolific, very what's the word? When you do like different things.
Yeah, he had a huge range.
And yeah, really, really great. There's like this. I don't know if I sent you this piece of his speech when he won an Oscar.
Yes.
He was like, I don't know if I deserve this, but also I have arthritis, and I know I don't deserve that.
And then he just walks off stage. Perfect.
I don't know. Great.
That was good.
Yeah, may he rest in peace, and our
Yeah.
sentiments for the family.
Mm-hmm.
Anything else?
No, I think that was a
what
lot.
bummer to end on a sad note.
I know, but it was.
That was a joke.
That was a joke. I don't have any jokes. You just told a great funny story. Donald Sutherland's joke. That was perfect.
I guess.
Can end on that high note.
Yeah. Well.
So go watch Kelly's Heroes or
I need to
Hunger
watch that
Games
one.
or Pride and Prejudice or any of the other like.
Pride and Prejudice?
Yes,
Which
he plays
one?
the one with Keira Knightley.
Ah, okay.
So in fact, I'm seeing like all these tributes to him on my social media and about how horrifying and evil he was in Hunger Games, and and then just like how loving and tender and beloved he is in Pride and Prejudice, and the man was so talented.
There's one version. There's like many remakes of many versions of Invasion of Body Snatchers, right? I can't remember the name of his Invasion Body Snatchers. It's usually something like that he's on, and and it's great because this version and the main character he's a friend, he's a confidant, he's helping, and then this person goes there, and then when he gets there, how he knows that he got infected, got invaded or snatched, it's he points and of course the scream is really weird and scary. It's like really high. It's he's very talented.
He's good.
Anyways, we come back next week for more pop culture news, entertainment, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Have fun. Share, like,
subscribe,
follow. If you listen to us on podcasts, check us on our Facebook page. If you see us on Facebook page, you can check us on everywhere you can find podcasts. Always sharing and commenting. If you like something, like it. If you don't like something, like it too. That's it. May the force be with you.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.
Bye.